And I'm still loving walking through meadows full of buttercups. I mean, how can you not love that? Look at it. And the sun's come out as well, just to light it all up. Now this little shrub is a Gilder rose, and it has some of the prettiest flowers you'll see at this time of year. Look at these, look. Aren't they beautiful? Get these wonderful little florets with lots of little flowers on the inside. The smell coming off them is fantastic. Now it's called a Guelder rose, but it's nothing to do with the rose family. It's actually a viburnum, probably more closely related to maples and sycamores, you can probably see from the shape of the leaf. And all those little bobbly bits you can see in amongst the small flowers, they will eventually turn into little red berries like that one there, which is left over from last year. And birds love them. Birds absolutely love them. Humans can eat them, but not too many of them. Not too many, because they're not very good for your tummy unless they're cooked. I tend to use them just in jams and things like that. And as you can see, the insects love them too. There's a few bees and flies, and there's a soldier beetle down here, look. Yeah, it's all going on. Nice to see some insects. All this reddish stuff you can see, and there is quite a lot of it as you look to the field. That's all sorrel going to seed. And as I've said before, sorrel's one of my favourite wild herbs. Very sharp, lemony. So it looks like we'll have plenty again this year. Oh, there's a lovely thing, look. Can you see it? There's a deer hunkering down there in the vegetation. I'll try and move a bit closer. Oh, it's a roe deer. There he goes. What a lovely thing. Do you know what? You can keep your AI and your CGI and all the rest of that computer generated bollocks. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, that compares to nature and real life. The smells, the touch, the sight, the sounds, everything about nature. It's tactile, engages all of our senses. And that's how things should be. That's the human condition. Why would we want to replace that with something artificial? I'm glad I was born when I was. Now the bluebells are going over now, and it's all turning into seed pods. Can you see? It's all the seed pods on the bluebells, and they'll drop off, bury into the ground, and all be ready for next year. In fact, that lot over there, where they're out of the sunlight, have all gone over, look. So fleeting, isn't it? That few weeks when the bluebells are here, absolutely glorious. This was all blue a week ago. But no, time marches on, and another lot of plants are coming along to take its place, and another lot of insects to make the use of those plants. It's like one species hands the baton to another as you go through the year. It's a clever system. But you know, nature's had 4 billion years to sort of perfect this system. I'm not surprised that she's kind of got it right now. Looking over this deep bed of brambles, you can see the elder trees, and look at all the big heads of elderflowers over there and over here. And then as you go up that way, you start to see those lovely frothy whites of the hawthorn trees, and they're looking beautiful now. Looks like it's been snowed on, doesn't it? This one will develop even more flowers yet. It always does every year. It goes really, really white. Although maybe it's not such a good year, because it looks to me like all the flowers are actually out. I can't see many flower buds, but nevertheless, it's beautiful. Look at that. This one's a little bit more pink than the other ones. It's still hawthorn, but as you can see, there's quite a lot more pink in amongst the petals. Absolutely loaded with flowers though. I'd like to say the insects are having a field day, but do you know what? I'm not seeing a lot of insects around, which is really disturbing. I mean, this should be buzzing with life now. There should be flies and wasps and bees and moths and butterflies all over this planet collecting the nectar. I'm not seeing a single one. It's a concern. It's a real concern. Weekly check-in on the bracken. As you can see, there's more and more of it coming up. I did say it turns into like a little forest. I love this tree. I filmed it several times before. I don't think it's alive anymore. I really don't think it's alive anymore because it doesn't put up any new fresh shoots. But look at the shape of it, look, really gorgeous. I mean, that one going up straight is a cherry. I think this other one going across is possibly an oak. But I love this bit in particular. You've got this lovely, gnarly head. Looks like an eye going through it. It's great, isn't it? And this tree here had some chicken on the woods on it a couple of years ago, and I keep checking. There's a little group of cherry trees. There's this one, there's that cherry there, then there's an oak, there's a couple more cherries down there, and I keep checking them for chicken of the woods. Not seen any the last year or so, but during lockdown I got 3 along this little walk, and they are delicious. I mean, that's the top mushroom. If you're going to forage for wild mushrooms, chicken of the woods, best tasting mushroom there is. Shame it's so breezy. There's a young horse chestnut tree here. You know, it's too young to get conkers yet, but look at those very pretty flowers on there. You get these tall pyramidal cones of flowers, all reds and pinks and whites. Absolutely lovely. Look at that. There's a small murder of crows up ahead who decided they don't want to get too close to 2 dogs. Can't say I blame them. Off they go. That's a curious collective noun, that one, isn't it? I mean, Parliament of Owls, you kind of get that because owls are sort of associated with wisdom. But a murder of crows? Are crows particularly homicidal? I think we should know. We haven't been down through here for a while. This is one of my favourite little wooded walks because it's a little bit creepier and darker than the others. The others are all sort of hazel and oak and cherry. Whereas this one is mostly elder and a bit of hawthorn. And the great thing about elder and hawthorn is you get these wonderful gnarly shapes and these leaning trees. Beautiful, aren't they? I love them. I love all the sort of knottiness you get. And yet, you know, they're brand new trees. They're all growing very healthily. There's new shoots coming up every year. But they just look so gnarly and old. And they all lean. That's the other weird thing. They're all leaning in one particular direction. Going from this direction, of course, they're all leaning to the left. But if I was coming the other way, of course, they'd be leaning from the right. But yeah, it's beautiful. And it's a nice atmospheric little path to walk along. And it's quite quiet as well. I don't think many people walk down through here. Look at this one, look. It's fantastic, isn't it? Look at that. All covered in moss. All covered in moss. And there's 2 trees here. Look, there's one that comes out of the ground here. There's another one that comes out of the ground there. And they have fused at this point. They fused here. Now, I don't know whether they're sharing nutrients with each other. I presume they are. Like, you know, sort of conjoined twins, I suppose. But, yeah, beautiful, isn't it? Another little bent over gnarly one here. Oh, nearly tripping over. Badger set, and quite an active one judging by the amount of digging. And lots of elderflower here, some more developed than others, as you can see. Oh, it smells amazing. And more of these wonderful twisted bent over trees. It really is a lovely walk, this little path. I love doing this one. I think that's probably about it for this week's miscellaneous meandering. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, I will see you again here next week. Toodle pip!